titos and titas, it's Jared and you're watching TitoFit, and in this channel we talk about health, fitness, wellness, and those kinds of things. Now, if you are interested in those things, please make sure to like this video. Well, maybe later, you can do it now. And please consider subscribing to our channel. So if you watched our last video, I talked about why fat loss might not be the best idea to work on during the season. So if you haven't seen that yet, please check it out. It should be here. So we're gonna take you through one of these workouts. So one of the workouts that I've programmed for my clients. And for those of you who don't know, I do the workouts that my clients do. So in today's workout, I like this workout because it's a combination of a lot of things. So fat loss isn't the priority, but we're not slacking off towards the season. I call this day 0. Okay, so why day 0? If you're gonna start, say, a New Year's challenge or a new fit challenge or whatever, if you just wanna get a hold of your physique come January, like a lot of people do, nothing wrong with that. But a good idea, a better idea, would be to start working on it now. Like, we're about 6 weeks away from the end of the year, 6 weeks away from the end of 2021. A lot can happen. You can definitely work on still getting fitter, still getting stronger, and to a certain degree, a little bit of damage control. Since you are going to be attending parties, since you are going to be going out to see friends, family, going to be out drinking, as evidenced by the Metro Manila traffic. If you've been out the last couple of days, kung lumalabas ka, I'm sure nakita mo, punong-puno, BGC, punong-puno, lahat ng mall, punong-puno. The kids are out, mga bata, nasa labas na sila, naglalaro na sila sa lahat ng park. So medyo marami ng tao, and of course, dadami pa yan, lalo na pag mas malapit na ang Pasko. Okay? So, we're gonna work today on a Metcon. For all your fitness equipment needs, make sure to check out Metcon Group. Check them out on social media. Very, very high quality equipment. Some of the best I've used. I've been in the space for at least 10 years now for CrossFit, in the CrossFit space, and in the fitness space for 16 years. So, when I say the equipment's good, I mean it. So, anyways, we're gonna do a Metcon. Metcon stands for metabolic conditioning. So, at the heart of a Metcon, it has to raise your heart rate. So, basically, a Metcon is simply combining cardio with some strength exercises, maybe some gymnastics, and basically, it's a very well-rounded program of sorts. So in today's Metcon, here's what we are gonna do. We are gonna go all the way down from the number 12 all the way down to 1. So we're gonna go 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're gonna do 3 movements. So these 3 movements are, namely, the first one, we are going to do bench presses with dumbbells, dumbbell bench presses. So I like doing these at a slight low incline angle, simply because that is sure to hit the upper chest. Not too high, because if the angle is too high, the higher you go, the more that involves your shoulders. But a very low angle that isolates the upper chest very well, but at the same time, you're still pushing. So it's not really an isolation exercise. It's very compound in nature. Your shoulders, your triceps, not just your chest. Definitely your core as well for you to brace, especially if the weights that you use are somewhat heavy. Alright, now, number 2 movement is toes to bar. This is a classic CrossFit movement that works your core, mostly the front, your lower back to a certain degree, because there is an element of kipping. So for those of you who don't know, kipping is using your shoulders. Okay, it's not really momentum. So if, let's say, your shoulders aren't strong enough, I don't recommend that you do kipping. I'm gonna talk about some movement substitutions later on. And then the last movement, everyone's favorite, we're gonna go on the assault bike. So we're gonna do that for calories. So that's gonna start. The first round is gonna be 12 bench presses with dumbbells, followed by 12 toes to bar, and then followed by 12 calories on the assault bike. The round after that is 11, 11, 11, 10, 10, 10. You get the picture. So those are going to be the movements. So this is gonna work a lot of your horizontal pressing, your core, and your legs as well. But most importantly, it's gonna work on your cardio. That assault bike is going to jack up your heart rate like nothing. Now, of course, I understand that not everyone has an assault bike or a calorie bike. So we will have some substitutions for you guys. So, very first thing is, if you are a beginner, you may want to do push-ups instead of a dumbbell bench press, especially if the weights that you use are too light for the dumbbell bench presses. It's not really gonna do much of a thing. It's not gonna be as effective as if you just do push-ups, because body weight is not a bad thing, especially if you are still starting out. Now, as you get stronger, body weight becomes not enough of a stimulus, so you may want to increase by using heavier weights like what we're going to do now. Push-ups are a good idea to substitute for the bench presses. And then for the toes to bar, couple of substitutions, a couple of ideas. If you have a bar to hang from, you can do some hanging leg raises or hanging knee raises. Like I said, these are not going to require kipping. So your shoulder is going to be very safe. You're just going to be hanging. Now, kipping, in my opinion, should only come once your whole shoulder girdle is strong enough to handle that movement, not to mention your core as well. So don't attempt to kip before you have the proper shoulder stability. In my opinion, that's about 6 strict pull-ups. If you can't do 6 strict pull-ups, don't kip. Now, okay, so hanging leg raises, where your feet are gonna come out in front of you as high as you can, higher than hip level. And hanging knee raises, the same thing, but this time leading with the knees. It's somewhat easier than the hanging leg raise since you have a shorter range of motion than the leg raise. The leg raise, your feet are going to be further out, so that's a bigger range of motion. Now, when it comes to the cal bike, here's what we're going to do. We're going to substitute in 2 ways. Again, if you don't have an assault bike or an air bike, you can do runs first. So here's what we're going to do, right? I said that it's 12, 11, 10. Okay, so for 12 calories, you are going to multiply it in multiples of 20. So that's 20 times 12. So that's 240-meter run. So you're gonna run for 240 meters, come back, right? And then the next round, 11 times 20. So that's gonna be 220 meters. The round of 10 is gonna be 200 meters, all the way until you get to the round of 1, where it's just going to be 20 meters. So 20 times the number of reps. So 20 times 12, 20 times 11, and convert that to meters. Alternately, if you don't have the time to run or if you don't have the space to run, let's say you live in a condo, you don't want to go to the gym, there's no treadmill around. You can also do that on a treadmill, by the way. You can instead choose to do burpees. Now, given that your chest is going to be fatigued from dumbbell presses, the burpees we are going to try to do, some people call them sprawls because in CrossFit, a burpee only counts if your chest touches the wall. But since your chest is already going to be fatigued, we're going to do no push-up burpees. So no push-up burpees, and then since the assault bike does work your legs, we're still going to require you to step up to a box. Between 20 to 24 inches high, that should suffice. We are going to demonstrate all of the movements for you and show you the workout more or less in its entirety and tell you how long it takes for us to get it. Now, take note, this is not a competition, but I did program this workout for some of my clients, and most of them got a range of about 15 minutes all the way to 25 minutes. So 15 minutes on the faster end and 25 minutes on the slower end. Now, it's not a competition, but definitely you still want to challenge yourself and not rest for too long a time between movements or between transitions. So, let's go work out. So I will be using 22.5 kilos. So these are some really nice dumbbells from Metcon group. 22.5 kilo dumbbells. So that's roughly 50 pounds. So I'll be using that for, I'll be using 50 pounds per arm. So total of 100 pounds all in all. Now dumbbells, a little hard to stabilize. So might sound light given that it's only a total of 100 pounds, but I assure you, it's not that light. It's not light, it's fairly heavy, okay? So Tito Austin is gonna use slightly lighter weight, if I'm not mistaken, roughly about 40 pounds. If I'm not mistaken, 17.5 kilos. So find a weight that you can press for about 10 to 12 reps, more or less, before you have to break. But of course, the challenge is not to go unbroken, but to properly manage how many breaks you do. Now, given that this workout is going to go through a lot of transitions, it's okay to do maybe for the first round of 12, you probably divide that into 2 sets of 6, or maybe a set of 8 and then a set of 4. It's really up to you, How creative you are and how you manage your strength is just as important as how fast you finish, if not more important. So how long it takes for you to finish is not half as important as the amount of effort you give into this workout. So give it a good shot. Let me know in the comments down below if you want to try this workout, or if you are going to do this workout, let me know your time down below, what weights did you use, and let's have a little fun with it. I'm excited to see you guys join and do these workouts with me a little bit more. Haven't done workouts with you guys in a while. You always see this in our B-roll, but I'm gonna have you guys join in on the fun today.